So what is the outlook for the three Singapore local banks as we head into the last quarter of 2021, right? So time flies and we're pretty much heading to the end of 2021 and going to 2022. So what is the outlook? All right, how are the banks looking? Is the uptrend still intact? Can they potentially push higher as we head to the end of the year, or maybe start off 2022 with a bang? All right, a good bullish move all the way up. Hey guys, Joey here, top-tier advisor and trader in Philips Securities and chief trainer at Trading Impossible. Right, so in today's video, right, we dive into the three local banks, right? DBS, OCBC and UOB. How are they looking? We'll dive into the charts and I'll share with you some of the critical levels that we have pretty much traded about over the past couple of months. And in fact, just one of them, right? One of these banks, right? DBS, OCBC and UOB, one of them is actually seeing a bit more signs of weakness compared to the other two. And you want to know what bank is that, all right? And also, knowing it is one thing, but also what are some of the levels about you want to take a note for that specific bank, all right? And if certain support levels are broken, we can actually see a bit more weakness, or it might actually be a good opportunity to kind of like bargain hunt, all right, on dips, right? So do watch this video all the way to the end if you know the outlook or the technical outlook on these three banks, DBS, OCBC and UOB. I think you're going to like what I got for you. So the first Singapore bank I would like to talk about would be this bank called DBS, right? DBS right here trading at about $30.31, 30.31 right here. So just about 2 months back, I covered this bank and I mentioned about us, pretty much consolidating in this range, right, with resistance at about $31. So this is pretty much the range for now. Let me just go to draw it for you right here again. This is the range from like $29 all the way to about that $31 resistance. So we did actually try to attempt, right, to break that $31, but market weakness came back and we saw it coming back down below the 31. So this 31 would still stay as the resistance for now, and we are back in this consolidation range, right? So it's pretty much consolidating sideways. Look at this, right, in terms of the moving averages, in terms of the short term. Look at this, the green line is pretty much like flattening out right now, moving sideways. So in terms of the short term, we are pretty much consolidating from like $29 to $31, which is what has been happening since May, right? So May to October is about 5 to 6 months up, down in this range. But so far, I can see that this support, which I talked about previously as well, which is the $29. So we saw a bit of bullish candle around here. It kind of rebounded. Same thing just about 2 weeks back, we rebounded again from here, and it seems like this $29 is still looking pretty good, right? Pretty good support for DBS, and we did see a bit of a rebound right here all the way back to like 30, 32 right now, and we might actually hit towards near like 30, 50 to $31 just around here in this range. And that's where selling might actually come back again, right? So if you're kind of like holding on to it, I mean, you kind of got in near like 29, 29.50. As it approaches this $31, you can also think about getting out, locking in some profits, maybe wait for a pullback, and then try to enter again near that $29, which is what we're seeing over the past 4 to 6 months, right over here, right? So this is DBS. I think it looks still okay in terms of the uptrend. You can see prices are still pretty much holding above this blue line, which is the 200 days moving average. And look at this red line, all right, it's kind of like flattening out, but this red line is still above the blue line. So mid to long term trend is still pointing in the upwards direction as long as we hold above this 29 support, right? This 29 support, I would say it would be support for now over the next few months as we head to the end of the year. As long as we hold above it, it still looks okay, but just that in the short term, we might actually see more consolidation in this $2 rate. So DBS right over here at about $30.32. Okay, so this is OCBC, right? So if you like this video, go ahead and give me an early thumbs up. It will definitely help out the channel, and thank you so much for doing this, right? So this is OCBC right here, and we are currently trading at about $11.56. So this is about 2 months back, and right over here, I kind of like did a video on it, and I mentioned about this support level around the 1180, right? So 1180 was a bit of a support level which we actually tried to rebound from it over the past few months, since like March, April, rebounded, but then unfortunately we broke the 1180 level, right? So this 1180 is quite key, right? So 1180, a bit of a support. And you can see right over here, this was somewhere in like 2019, just about 2 years back. It was also kind of like the resistance level. So resistance level, we broke up, went all the way to like 1260, and that is where we are seeing resistance right here, about 1260. You can see we came down about 3 times, something like I would say a triple top, right? Something like a triple top. So we have like 3 times of prices heading to that resistance at about 1260, came back down. So I think that would be a firm resistance, right, as we consolidate from like 1180 to 360. But unfortunately, right, over the past 2 months, right, we kind of broke down this 1180, right? So 1180 was like the support. Now it is back to the resistance, like what we see over here just about 2 years back in 2019. It is back to becoming a resistance level, 1180. Take note of it, right? $11.80. And what about the support level? Support level, just to give it a bit of leeway, you can see this is originally the resistance level right here. It was like trading from like 1050 to 1120, all right, just before the current situation that we are in happened. All right, we actually like, consolidated below this resistance, and this resistance right here, look at it, right? Touch, came down 3 times, and when we broke up, right, just in March, right, we read it all the way to like 1260 really fast in about 1 or 2 months, and we're pretty much back down to this level right here, all right, at the $11.20. So let me just go to draw this upside targets for OCBC. I would say a bit more weaker for now compared to the other 2 banks like DBS and also UOB, which I'm talking about it in a bit. All right, but OCB, I would say a bit weaker because we kind of broke one of those key support levels right here. In terms of the moving averages as well, we are seeing some signs of weakness in the short term. So for DBS, which I mentioned just now, it was like moving sideways, a $2 range, right? As I mentioned, sideways. But for OCBC right here, when we broke this $11.80 support level, look at this, right? The green line, 20 days moving average, green line kind of like went down below this red line as well in terms of the short-term moving average, crossing down below the 100 days moving average, 20 below the 100. All right, that's a bit of sign of weakness in terms of the short to mid term. All right, and right now you can see that this green line is still below the red, which is like pointing down as well. All right, so not a good thing in terms of the short to mid term, whereby we are consolidating at a lower level, not at a higher level, but at a lower level. So that's a bit of a weakness, I would say, right? And this range would be 1120 right here, 1120 to that 1180. So hopefully, right, so far over the past like 2 weeks, 3 weeks, as it approaches the 1130, 1120 level, not even 1120, but maybe 1130, buyers are starting to bargain hard. It rebounded back up, but as soon as it hits to near 1180, you can see sellers are pretty much coming back to sell, to profit take, and prices are coming down. So that is the range for now for 1120 all the way to 11.80, and this is OCBC. Just want to be careful. If the 1120 were to break down, we can actually see a bit more weakness, maybe towards like the $10 and 60, 10.70 level, or maybe $11 first, but I'll not go into that. But right now, the immediate support level would be at $11.20. So yes, hopefully we can consolidate in this range and eventually break back up above the 1180 level. I think that would be key. Just by going back above the 1180, that would be a sign of some strength coming back, and buyers kind of like prepared to take it up back up to the previous phase, which is from here 1180 all the way to like 12, or maybe back to that 1260 right here. That's the resistance that I talk about over the past 4 to 5 months. We have touched and came back down. So that would be the next upside above that 1180. But right now, as I say, this would be pretty much the range for now. Okay, so let's dive into UOB, right? The other Singapore bank I would like to talk about, and they're currently trading at about $25.97, right? 25.97 right here. So what is the range for UOB? So about 2 months back, right, I talked about it, and I think we're somewhere around here, consolidating up and down. And just a quick recap of where we were. I think we're somewhere around here, went up, and I talked about this resistance level, very, very key resistance at that $27, right? $27, as I mentioned, that's where we can really see some heavy selling or some profit taking. Why $27? Look at this, right? I mentioned about it just about 2 years back, right here in 2019, right? 2019, we kind of like approached it, came down, and just about a few months back in May, we touched, came back down, and just like last month, right, touched and came down. So this $27 seems like a really critical resistance level for now, right? We are pretty much back to where we were just about 2 years back, and sellers are kind of like taking profit. So I think if you're like holding on to it, if you have like got in just like last year, or maybe you rode the recovery or the uptrend, that's where you can also think about just getting out first, maybe lock in some profits, wait for pullback to kind of like time your entry to get in again, right? So where can you potentially think about getting in again on dips, for UOB, right? So this is the support level. Let me just reiterate, right? This support level is pretty much that $25. Why? All right, look at this, right? As I say, this was the range we were consolidating in 2019, all right, up, down, 25 to 27, and when, we kind of like broke down when the current situation happened, we broke down, went all the way down and consolidated, right? So that is pretty much the range, and we are back to where we are just about 2 years back. You can see right here, 25 to 27. Let me just shift it from left to right. And you can see it kind of like fits really nicely, right? And we are pretty much back in this $2 range, something like your DBS range, right? $2, right? But now it's 25 to that $27, the range for now. So I think if it prices were to kind of like hit back down to near 25, right? Maybe not 25, you can see somewhere around like 25, 30, 25, 50, buyers are starting to bargain hard, right? And they kind of like rebounded from there and rebounded back to 26. I think 26 is a bit of a temp resistance, but not as strong as 27, obviously. All right, because you see 26 is like, we have like this come up and down, we cross up and down 26. So 26 is not really a resistance level, it's just a psychological level, but we want to give a bit of weight to it. But more importantly, the 27, right? The 27 is key. It's like, at least 5 to 10 times more important than the 26 level for now, right? So if we break the 26, well, good. We might actually push up higher all the way to 27. As I say, near there, sellers might actually come back again. That's where you can think about taking some profit or taking some money off the table, right? So short-term wise, this is the range, right? Look at this, right? As I say, the green line and the red line, all right, pretty much moving sideways. So short to mid-term, sideways for now. Longer term, it looks pretty similar to DBS, right? Pretty similar to DBS. As I say, prices is just above, right? Above this blue line, which is a 200 days moving average. So long term, it still looks okay. I would say it still looks okay in terms of the long term, in terms of the trend. I think it can still carry on, but we need to really stay above this $25 support level, and hopefully we consolidate here, up, down, and eventually break this key 27 resistance level, and that's where we can see it, potentially moving up to the next upwards phase, or for the uptrend to really continue, maybe to like 30, 29, and so on and so on. But right now, that is the range for now, right? So this is UOB right here, trading at about 25.97. So yes, there we have it. I've pretty much covered the 3 Singapore local banks, DBS, OCBC, and UOB, and I hope we now have a clearer picture on what are some of the levels whereby we are pretty much consolidating over the past few months, right? As I say, one of them, which is like OCBC, is seeing a bit more signs of weakness compared to the other two, because for OCBC, as I say, the support level did not really hold. So you want to make sure, if you kind of like time your entry to get in OCBC, make sure you have a plan. All right, make sure you have a plan. But for the other two, like DBS and UOB, the supports all seems to be holding quite well, and it can actually be quite a good opportunity to kind of like time your entry to accumulate on dips again as we head to those support, and wait for like potential rebound, and it heads to those resistance, you get back out and then wait for another pullback again, right? So that is pretty much what is happening for the 3 local banks. So I hope you like this video. If you have liked it, you like it, go ahead to give me a thumbs up, give me a like. It will definitely help out the channel. Of course, guys, smash the subscribe button if you have not yet done so, so you will not miss out on any videos like this, right? So you want to find out a bit more on the entire 1GT, right? One good trend framework on how we actually get in and get out of stocks, and how we use the system to guide us as well. Or you can download one of my free reports which I just created for you. Let me just grab the link. You can just go ahead and click on the link just around this video, maybe below the video there'll be a link, all right, to download this free report. And this is it right over here. When you click on the link, this is where you'll come to. Free report reviews how to 3x your returns in the stock market with a bulletproof trend trading strategy, right? So this is all will be shared with you, right, in terms of the whole entire framework. What do we do? And there will be a button right here. You can go to click on it, and that's where you can type in your name and email address, and I'll email to you in about 5 minutes, right? So that's how you get access to my free report right here. Click on the link just below the video, all right? There'll be a link. Click on it, get access to this free report that will share with you a bit more on the entire framework and strategy, and I bet it'll be really useful to you, right? So go and do that. Thank you so much for watching. Joey here. I look forward to see you in the next video.